Hi guys, it's Becky, and today I am going to open up the Potomac Beads treasure box for November 2023. Now before I start opening this, I just want to give you some background, some history on me and Potomac Beads, and where I am at now is that they have sent this to me for free so that I can evaluate it and I can unbox it and I can do this as to promote Potomac Beads, to have this be something that you guys see. And also I'm going to be creating some tutorials with it, so there'll be more content out there, so that if you subscribe to this box, you'll have some tutorials, you'll have some inspiration, you'll have some other things that you can make with it. Now, I have subscribed to Potomac Beads for a while. I did not subscribe to the treasure box, though. I subscribed to the best bead box, and I subscribed to the XL edition of the Best Bead box because you got extra kits with it. And one of the things about Potomac Beads is they have spectacular kits. Their kits are complete with everything that you need in it. You have thread, you have needles, you have basically everything except your scissors to cut the thread. And they have really, really, really great instruction. And I say that as somebody who was looking to learn bead weaving. And so based on a video from Jeanette, Orchid and Opal, I decided that the Best Bead box, the XL edition, was going to be one of the best ways for me to learn that. And most of the bead weaving skills that I have learned, I learned from there. They have diagrams, they have step-by-step instructions. It's very clear. You know exactly what bead you're going into, where the thread needs to go. It's, I want to say dummy proof, but like the first project that I did as somebody who had never done any bead weaving was peyote stitch in the round with herringbone corners. So it was to bezel a square crystal, and I couldn't wrap my head around it because they were tiny, tiny, tiny beads. And so I used those instructions and some larger beads and I got it. So then I was able to then use those same instructions with the beads that came in the kit, and I got it. And it was my very first bead weaving thing. And yeah, it took a little bit of trial and error. But I eventually got it, and ever since then, I've been able to follow their directions like to a T without getting lost, without having to like readjust my thinking. So it's really, really, really good. I highly, highly recommend the kit box. In fact, the only reason I stopped subscribing to the kit box this summer was because my brother wasn't working, and so I couldn't actually afford it anymore. But he's working again, so I'm going to be subscribing again. As soon as we get our a couple bills caught up, I'm going to be back on that kit train because I do love the Potomac Beads kits. They are fantastic. This is not what this is. This is the Treasure Edition. So what they did is at the beginning of this year, they changed it from the Best Bead box used to be like one kit and then some beads for your stash. The Bead Box XL was two kits, some beads for your stash, and a bonus project that was just a pattern that you could use your own beads with. And this year they changed it so that they have a kit edition, which isn't just bead weaving, by the way. If you were like, oh, I don't want to just do bead weaving, they have other things that are in those kits. Like there's working with leather, making wrap bracelets, there's doing bead stringing, there's doing macrame, there's a lot of other types of projects in there than just bead weaving, but they still do have the bead weaving if that's your jam. So like the kit edition is pretty great is what I'm saying, and I am going to be subscribing to that again. Anyway, this is the Treasure Edition, and the Treasure Edition doesn't have a kit. It is just the For Your Stash beads, but it's more than the For Your Stash beads because they also send you some tools. They send you some things that you can use in your jewelry making. And it's going to be different every single time. Like, this is the tool that came with the November one. It is some pliers, and it's pretty great. I'm going to open it up and we'll look at it in a minute. But the box itself has all these beads, and they have a lot more beads than you used to get in the Best Bead box as well. So let's open this up and let's see what's in it. And this is, by the way, a really great box. I love these Potomac bead boxes. They are fantastic, but I'm going to be taking all of these beads out of this box and putting it into my organizer, because one of the things I noticed with my other bead boxes and my other things like that is that if I can't see it, it stops existing. So while I have a bunch of beads from them in my bead boxes that I got from Potomac Beads, like they've got a little magnetic closure. They stack nicely. There's a padded foam thing in here. And these boxes are great. I have covered it in washi tape and used it as a gift box for things. But I'm not going to be putting my beads in here. Instead, I'm going to be using it for some art supplies, because it is the perfect size for art supplies. So I'm not using this, but I'm just not going to use it for my beads, because I need to be able to see my beads. This is who I am as a person. I need to be able to see my beads in order to use it. So I am going to be using this box for art supplies. I'll have to write on here that I've got pens in here at some point. But yeah, so the boxes are great. The boxes are fantastic. I can't have my beads in there, so they're going to go in here. And that's just a me thing. It might not be a you thing. You might be great at putting the beads in there with that. So let's go through. We've got a list on the back side, and we've got a description of the theme, and they are themed. So they'll go through. So Charm of Blossoming Twilight Garden, Soft Blush of Gentle Peaks, Regal and Elegant Violets, an Infusion of Vibrant Rose. I think this is fantastic. It is, I know that there's probably going to be a lot of bead boxes out there that have like the reds and the greens, and we're going to be jumping into that. But this is also like stepping away from the fall colors, which, you know, I was all about for a while. I was like, fall colors, but I'm a little bit ready to move on from fall colors and to go through these. So let's get some of these out of their baggies and into an organizer. And I just wanted to show you that this is some of the stuff, because there's some findings too. And it looks like we've got some stretch cord, which is fantastic because I started doing stretch bracelets, a few more of them recently. So I'm definitely going to use these with some of my projects. We're going to try out their stretch bracelet cord. And this was something that came in there along with these pliers. All right. So these pliers, they have serrated teeth on the inside, so they will grip really well. They might damage the finish on some things so be careful what you're using them with, but they will grip really well with that. Looks like we've got a cutter on this side, and they fit in your hands pretty well. So this is a tool that came with it. Came with the box. All right, so let's get these organized. So this is Jet Gemstone Ovals. Where are we? I'm looking for them. They're not listed on here, so are they extras? Or are these the gemstone, supposed to be gemstone barrel beads? You know what, we'll get these all organized. So this is probably, instead of the gemstone barrel beads, they are oval beads, which is good enough. Let's get these out here so you can see them. They are black, shiny. Those are really cool. These would be great in a stretch bracelet, probably also with these turbine beads. You know what though? Let's get to the strand in a little bit. Let's go through the rest of these. So we've got Potomac crystal bicones. I'm just going to go down the list. So these are 4mm bicones. And usually the crystal bicones from Potomac Beads, like sometimes you get some bicones and some of them might be broken or jagged on the corner. And for the most part, I have not had that experience with these bicones. And they have an AB finish on them. They've got this light rose color. Actually, let me get my ladybug plate so you can see the color a little bit easier. Because on my hand, it wasn't showing up as well. So it's just a really light rose color. So this is going to make it so much easier when I'm designing for me to have it in an organizer because I'll be able to see it. All right, and now we've got the Potomac pearls. These are 3mm pearls and they are rose gold colored, which is like a little bit pinker than like a champagne color. And you know what? We have been all about rose gold color this fall, haven't we? These are going to be fantastic accents, or even the star of a show on something. I am going to actually, because this thread is really flexible, I'm going to go ahead and stick this whole thing right here in this compartment and wait to unstring it until I go to use it. All right, now we've got some check glass ladybug beads, and they are black ladybug beads. These are really cool. I love that we get check glass beads with this. There's so many more beads than the for your stash beads that we used to get. I'm going to put my ladybug beads on my ladybug plate so you can get a better look at them. All right, so I'm going to stick them right up here. So that goes with the theme of like the midnight garden. You've got your florals and then you've got like your dark stuff. It goes pretty well. We've got check glass leaf drop beads. So these beads look like they've got a hole drilled at the top going side to side. And the color is this kind of gray, twilight gray, but also kind of yellow color. Let me show you where the hole goes on this. So they go through like that. So that should make it easier to turn them into drops with some wire doing it like that. Well, I am going to check this wire cutter real quick on this bead. Well, that's fine. I have flush cutters. I don't need a wire cutter. All right, so you've got our leaves. I kind of love this a lot. All right, then we've got some butterfly beads. Where are our butterfly beads? There they are. Look how pretty these are. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's these light pink lines. They are table cut. So I don't know if you can see. Light pink lines. And then when I tip it that way and we get the light shining on it from over there, we've got the table cut. You can see how smooth they are. These are fantastic, and I already have plans for earrings. Excuse me, for earrings with these. All right. Hooray. So now we've got some filigree teardrops. That's these guys right here. And you know what? Immediately, like that. All right, so these teardrop beads, looks like 2 of them are this opaque lilac color. Or is it lilac with a purple finish? And then 4 of them are this like rose-colored clear, translucent clear, not clear, but rose-colored finish on that. And I'm going to, because these are special shaped beads, I'm going to put these in the same compartment as the butterflies. So we've got, you know, room for everything else. All right, and then we've got some check glass dagger beads, and y'all know I love dagger beads. Now these are single hole daggers. Oh my goodness, we've got little teeny ones. Let me get all of this. It looks like we have a variety of dagger beads. We've got some darker pink ones, we've got some tiny ones, we've got some lighter pink ones. Okay, so this is, it looks like all of the daggers. We've got big ones, little ones. So these smaller, or these more clear ones, still have like a pink finish on them. And then we've got these small mini daggers. And then we've got these larger daggers with the with more color on them. It is a dagger mix, and that is going to be super fun to play with. It's like flower petals. That's what it's making me think about, is flower petals. And maybe I'll do some bezeling and we will have some flower petals with these. I think that might be a fun thing to do with them. All right, so we've got daggers, hook and eye clasps. So these are antique brass plating. Pack of 2. And for the hook and eye clasps, you've got kind of an S hook here. And then for the clasp part, it's like a figure 8. And I'm going to stick these right here in the front. Y'all know I like to put my findings and things right there in the front. And we've got some hammered rings, which are also antique brass plated. So probably when we're working with this, I'll pull out some of my antique brass color wire and we'll use those. So we've got these hammered rings. I'm going to go ahead and stick these in here with the other findings. All right, and Miyuki seed beads. These are 8/0 seed beads. Duracoat galvanized. And it doesn't say what the color is. Let me get a few of these out here on here for you. If I can open it. Looks like we've got kind of a purple luster finish for these seed beads. I'm just going to put them all in here. That way I don't have to worry about misplacing my little tube when I go to make stuff with it. They'll just be right here when I need them. All right, and then we've got some check glass faceted rounds. That would be these guys, and they are large. They are 18 millimeter. They're lilac purple, and they have, it looks like kind of a metallic finish on one end, and then they're clear on the other. They are beautiful. Here we go, guys. You get to go in here. Or maybe you'll take up 2 spaces. I don't know. All right, then we've got some check glass heart beads. That's these right here, and purple hearts. What? Yes, purple heart beads. It looks like we've got a hole sort of in the middle of it. but we should be able to do a bail on it going through there for those holes for our purple hearts. Or maybe a beaded bail. Yeah, I think a beaded bail would be great, and we could use these in some earrings. All right, and then we've got some check glass nuggets. These are the frosted lila nuggets. And these are such an interesting shape. They have that frosted matte coating on them. And then we've got some twisty beads. These twisty beads, like the glass has some striations in them. I don't know if you guys can see that from there. Let me hold this still a little bit in the light. They have a hole going down through the middle of them. They are super fun. I'm gonna stick those right in here. I'm actually gonna move this guy over here with these other heart beads. And we've got some check glass cup buttons. Cup buttons are so great for closures on bracelets, but I'm thinking of some other fun ways that we might use them with some bracelets, having the threads go in and out. You know what? I wasn't even holding that up where you could see it. Was I? There we go. You guys can see it a little bit better now with these. They've got kind of an orange tint to them, which is fun because that'll go nicely with these rose gold pearls. And here we are. We've got some turbine beads. Let's cut this open. Like, I don't think these were on the list. Looks like these are kind of an opal color. That's what I was thinking of with the leaves. Kind of an opal color for those nice and gray, like twilight. Twilight in the Night Garden. That's where I am with this. But yeah, these will be great together. So this is the Potomac Beads treasure box for November. And we'll do some projects with this. I think it'll be really fun. And like, and I am so much more confident in my ability to look at a bunch of beads and say, I can make something out of this without having to have like a kit or a project or something now. So we'll be able to make some fun things with this. And I think these are all going to go really well together, and they're going to work together really well. We've got some stretch cord. We've got some pliers. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this, and I will see you next time. Bye.